Oh, hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. Welcome to summer. Today is the 22nd of June. Yesterday was the very first day of summer, as well as being one of my second nephew's birthday. So good for him. He's 2. And anyway, as you can hear in the background, the cicadas are in full blast. It's summer, so they'll be with us until the end of August, more or less. Anyway. Right, what am I doing this morning, right now? We're going to pick out the locomotive number here using a white gold Faber-Castell watercolour pencil. And this is a tip by Bugler75 Ian, who told me he was given this tip by somebody else. So anyway, we just pass on the knowledge over here, righto. So this is a very good way, and it's a good way because it's reversible. So if you make a mistake, you can use some water and a wet cotton bud. In fact, I'm getting a wee cotton bud right now beside me, just in case. So I'm going to have to get myself a decent... I was watching another YouTuber this morning. I think it was Dan's Model Railways, Thrash the Track, and he's got a bracket support thing for the mobile phone. I'll have to invest in this place sooner or later. Maybe once I reach a thousand subscribers. I don't even remember. Let me check what the channel says. How many people have we got? I don't really know exactly what will happen at 1,000. It also depends on the viewing time and the number of likes and the number of comments and whatever. But we're at 849 subscribers. Wow, okay. 849. One more to go to 850. And that means 150 to 1,000. Oh well, not bad. Okay, anyway. We'll see what happens. I don't know what will happen. Anyway. At the moment, YouTube has been sending me surveys, asking me to fill in surveys, as I am an interesting creator, apparently. Well, we'll see what goes on. So I'm wetting, bringing this in view, I'm wetting my watercolour pencil in some water. And I'm sort of making sure that it's okay, nice, and using a wee bit of black test paper. Righto. Bob's your uncle. Let's get going. So let's pick out the engine number, which is 67,001. I'm shining my powerful 40-watt bulb as close as possible. Just go with a very gentle hand when you're doing this thing here, huh? Because it takes nothing but a second to make an absolute mess. Seven. Zero. Zero. 1. 67,001. There we go. It's picked out nicely. That'll set and look very well. And look very nice. I'm just going to try and pick out the frame down here a wee bit more. In fact, this one came better than the one at the other end, which came more of a dog's breakfast. Switch. Also some silver paint got spilt there. Bugger. What am I doing here, folks? Maybe an idea would be to erase this. Let's see if we can erase it with a cotton bud. Yes. And some nasty silver paint seeped in there, see? See, it rubs off completely with a cotton bud. No problem at all. Probably to fix this, now I'm thinking what to do, to actually fix, so that, you know, maybe you don't smudge it off with your finger, a wee bit of varnish, of gloss varnish, just there to stop it, you know, and once you get it just right. Like this one here is good enough. In my opinion, even this technique would be good even for picking out the badges here. But you need to have a silver pencil, a silver watercolor pencil. It's decent enough, but we might add a wee bit of tiny spot of, in particular on this one over here. There's some points here where the C of SNCF is slightly, it's sort of merged with the F. Nice logo, very complicated, like many French things. Okay, right, see, we're at it. Let's see what we can do here to get rid of this paint here, because some silver paint sort of seeped into there. So we're just going to get a spot of black paint. I've got a brush, and we're going to get some black paint out, because we have to paint black / blue, whatever it is, to get this thing here the right colour. I'm doing this, to finish this off, I'm doing these single take videos because I'm honestly, I can't even be bothered doing editing in this period. I'm trying to finish things because I'd like to get the board out and play trains. I'm fed up. Right, let's get our colour palette. You won't see it, it's out of view. I've got a paintbrush. I need a spot black. Now, I'm thinking, wait a minute, whether to use paint or a marker pen. The marker pen would actually dry faster, so we're going to use the marker pen. The Uniposca, the black Uniposca. This is the black Uniposca. Aye, that's it. Perfect. We'll use a black one. What the hell fell? Oh, great. Wonderful. That was nice. Spare parts donor, chassis, falling on floor. Lovely. I'm going to be tidying up next month my storage area under the desk table here of mine, because I've got some things in these plastic chests of drawers are very good. Other things I've got them in shoe boxes, and then I have to do half a flitting every time I get things. Whoever is not from the north, from Scotland or Northern England, flitting means house removal. So I have to do a house removal half of the time. Every time I have to look for something which I don't like. I want to get some more plastic drawers, but I have to get them of a certain width to fit under the table. Okay, so let's try and get this thing here sorted out. It's going to fall on the floor. It won't be the first time. There you go. Jedi Master. I'm not really a Star Wars fan, but I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I was looking for some shorts and things to wear in the house because it was very warm here, and I went to Kiabi's a shop, and they were selling t-shirts and short sets on offer Star Wars, so that's why I'm the Jedi Master. Yeah, Jedi Master. Well, the Force, it's important. Let's try and get this there spot here just to get rid of that silver that seeped onto the air. This will dry. It'll dry, and this is quite a liquid. The Uniposca is nice and liquid, so it'll just the water will evaporate, and that'll do the job. And then see, there's another problem here, that I had marked the top part here out in white, and then when I applied the silver, it sort of went in by capillary effect, which was not good. I'm trying to sort of work my way, remove some even here. But these insects are so noisy. What a racket. It's not really a noise that annoys me. My wife can't stand it. No, it annoys her more because she comes from a part of the world closer to the mountains where cicadas are not present. And for her it means absolute horrible heat. And I don't really mind them, but they can be annoying on the long run. One of my students who's from here, he's really a local, he said he can't stand them at all because it means horrible hot days. But it's not that bad. Today it's going to be 32 degrees. As long as there's wind, as long as it's fresh at night, there's a good temperature drop at night, so you can sleep well. The problem is when it's very damp and the temperature at night is pretty close to the temperature during the day, then it's nasty. Okay folks, we don't have air conditioning. This house is pretty fresh once you close the shutters and close the windows. And also I've had problems with rhinitis. Air conditioning annoys me, and plus the air conditioning radiator would take up space on a balcony, and last but not least, it would cost me to install this stuff. So I've got ceiling fans, I've got fans, I'll just complain about the heat and that's it. And this way I will contribute to having a lower carbon footprint, because this is what everybody talks about nowadays, no? I don't really follow all this stuff here. I just try and be common sense. Okay, let me have a look with a magnifying glass to see what I'm doing. It's okay. That's okay. Toothpick a minute. Toothpick. A toothpick in Italian is called stuzzicadenti. Literally, toothpick is for picking your teeth. But very often is nicknamed as stecchino, meaning small stick. And there's a very, very good film with Roberto Benigni, Johnny Stecchino. It's a parody of mafia. It's a good film, very good film. It's before Roberto Benigni thought, it was before La Vita è Bella. La Vita è Bella is a nice film. I saw it at the cinema when I was in the army in '97. But I preferred Roberto Benigni when Roberto Benigni really made you laugh. But he made you laugh and made you think at the same time. After La Vita è Bella, which was a very big success, Roberto Benigni, I have the impression he got too big for his boots. He sort of, won an Oscar, etc., etc., and then he made a very good version of Pinocchio afterwards, which was very good, exactly like Collodi's book. The problem is that most people have not read Collodi's book, and so they said it was not good. I read the original Pinocchio by Collodi, and really, the film is the book. But people, maybe were used to the Disney adaptation, or another very good film by Monicelli, Pinocchio, a very good Italian film on Pinocchio, with a very good score as well. Dun, 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 this is Monicelli's one. This is from Monicelli's one. After that, Benigni began reading the Divina Commedia, which was very good. He also got a bit too mixed up in politics, and his I like him. I would like him to make a comeback, to start making us laugh again, and to drop all the ex cathedra finger wagging teachery kind of stuff. That's life. So Johnny Stecchino's a very good film. No. Another dab of the black pen. It's very difficult to see. Black on black. And of course the daylight is behind me and not in front of me, but I've got the electric light. Righto, that's done. Let's let this thing here. We've corrected that. What I have to do, I'll pick out the frame here in white. It should also sort of go a bit onto the silver bit here, but I'm not going to bother. Also because we're looking at this thing here from a meter's distance, so a 3 feet rule. Let's not really try and okay. I was about to say something in Italian which would not go well on YouTube. Okay, forget about that. It's from a university student's song, so you can imagine it's not really very polite. Oh no, it's not very polite and not very correct in no term, especially in political terms. Okay, very well, it's in my brain. It was in the good old days when student songs didn't bother, and you'd make fun of anybody and anything and have a good laugh. Okay, but now apparently having a sense of humour has become something to be frowned upon. Righto, so there's the windows. Okay, see, we've got the camera rolling. We will now use the same identical water, and we're going to get, there's the glue, the sort of extra glue and glaze, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. So let's get rid of that right now as we speak. So first things first, we'll wet the glazing with the cotton bud. We have a handy cotton bud right here. We'll wet the glue and glaze a bit, like that. And by wetting it, we will then use our handy toothpick, stuzzicadenti stecchino, also known as a cocktail stick. I never call it a cocktail stick, mainly because I don't really like cocktails much. If I want to go out for a drink, I'll have a glass of red wine. I don't like these cocktail concoctions. You'll put all sorts of rubbish inside them. Make a nice mix and stuff is slopping around in your stomach. Okay, let's get a clean one. There you go. You just melt the excess, and anything else, and you want your toothpick and you scrape off the excess. There we go. Now wet it again. Oh my, these cicadas are... You want a good song by Heather Parisi, Cicale, Cicale? Parisi is an American singer, American showgirl. She came here in the 80s. Cicale, Cicale, na 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 na, Cicale. You look up Heather Parisi. I could put some links in the description box to these films and things I've been talking about. Oh my, Cicale, Cicale, that's an old song. I think I was at the nursery school. Heather Parisi. She was an American Italian. She had a very good career here in Italy. She still has an American accent when she speaks in Italian. But I like Heather Parisi. Heather Parisi. The Italians just can't get their tongue round Heather. So in Italian she's Eder Parisi. Eder Parisi. once upon a time when I used to watch television, but a very long time ago. We're talking about when there was only three national channels: Rai 1, 2 and 3, and local TV was, private TV was only local. Then in the 80s, I don't remember exactly when, but towards 84, 85, a law was passed by the Craxi government that allowed private television to broadcast nationally, and that's when the big boom of the private channels, Berlusconi's channels, Fininvest, so Italia 1, Rete 4, Canale 5, they boomed, and we're entering the department of quite contemporary or very recent Italian politics, with Berlusconi, Silvio Berlusconi, a very debated person, a smart businessman, but like all businessmen, he had a few skeletons in his wardrobe, in his closet. I'm not here to talk about Berlusconi. A bit of a character. The embodiment of a certain generation of Italians but even of Italian characteristics. There were some things in Berlusconi which are very, well, he was an Italian, so very Italian. Even if I'm not a fan, quoting another Italian journalist, Indro Montanelli, I've never really liked the men of Providence, The great leaders, I always sort of steer clear of them, if possible. L'uomo della provvidenza. We already had one of them, and it didn't go very well. He was from Predappio, in the province of, in Romagna, just down the road. He had a big chin and a shaven head, and he went for elaborate uniforms and steel helmets. And he landed us in an absolute mess 80 years ago, but over 80 years ago, so let's not mention his name, he's not popular. Oh, well, if I have to do a historical video, I'll mention his name, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, very well. Here, there was a wee slight overlap here, but it's practically invisible, so I think we're just going to pretend it's not there. I'm going to fit the rest of the glazing now on this cab here, but I think I'll do that off camera because there's honestly nothing special to see. It's just flat glass, so we'll see it once it's in place. In the meantime, this stuff here should be dry, so I'll actually get around to doing these. But 23 minutes, I think we'll do it in another video. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and well, there's the usual things I always say. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I always like reading your comments, and that's it. Cheerio. I'm getting something else done before I have to pull these shutters over, and it gets too hot, because this is what I do in summer. I like to, well, if I'm not working, I like to do the modelling things in the late morning, more or less. That way, I go out when I have to keep the shutters closed and the place in the dark here, unless I have to work, of course, and then I do more things later in the day. Cheerio, and see you next time. Ciao, ciao.